Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A different kind of opening that we have today because why today is Maulidur Rasul. Salam Maulidur Rasul to each and every one of you semua yang beragama Islam today. It's actually a very special day. And also today for Malaysia in general, it's actually a public holiday. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you out there. Hope you guys are having a good resting time. Malaysia tak pernah tak cukup dengan public holiday. Almost every just fun fact actually, we are one of the nations in the world who has, so many public holidays out there. I think it was recorded at about 16 or 17 public holidays, being one of the most out there. So, wait, Malaysia memang banyak cuti sebenarnya. Very fun, very good indeed. Because why? Kita multi-ethnic, we are multi-religious kind of country, and we have to obviously, respect and celebrate all of the thing, all of these things, all of these celebrations that we have in our nation. And one person who always loves to celebrate, yang memang suka sangat celebration dia, kalau boleh dia nak main firecrackers day in and day out, siang malam pun dia nak bunyi bising depan rumah dia, ladies and gents. Melvin Lau. Hey Melvin.
I actually woke up. I thought it's Sunday today.
It is not Sunday.
Seriously, I don't think so relaxed. I thought Sunday is a holiday because I'm so used to have holidays since last year. It's not.
That is so true. No, because when we're in that phase,
holidays, we have the force to have holidays.
Exactly, because we're in that phase where every day seems to be like a holiday because kita dah biasa, being cooped up, being locked in and not able to go out, not able to actually have our normal lives as we had before. We feel that, we lost track of time, we lost track of days, we don't even know what celebration that we're having. Tiba-tiba macam like, oh, today is a public holiday. But yeah, it's good enough that the fact that we are, coming out from that, that peculiarness of before, and now we're having some sort of normality. Right?
But I don't know whether the public at large needs time to adjust back to normal life. Normal working life, because while we are, most of the Malaysians are totally locked down because unless they are in the essential business or industry, so things are more relaxed at home. Take life easy. The children are with you most of the time. Now you have to go back to work. Your children will get adjusted to that time or not.
Correct.
I'm also wondering the transition period now. Will they have any mental issue stress among the children, especially children who doesn't understand? But those young children who have very attached to their parents, those days the parents like perpetually 24 hours with them.
Yeah. Now this is definitely one of the topics that we definitely want to cover on our show, but we'll keep it on a later note because why? As what we always champion in this show, at least for ACTnow specifically, we always champion about having the greatest health in regards of physical as well as mental as well for people out there, to be in mind, peaceful and be as productive as they can, living harmoniously and happily, in whatever it is that they do. But we'll keep that as mentioned on another day because why on today's episode we want to talk about something else. We want to talk about something that Malaysia should definitely be proud of because what it was
yes.
I nampak sangat Abi tak sabar nak cerita pasal topik ni. Dia dah macam tak sabar nak cerita sangat.
Yes, you know why? Of 180 over countries, we have been elected on the so-called 18 of those elected out of 180 over countries. And is it an achievement? I think it's an achievement.
It's definitely an achievement. So what Melvin has just said there is because why Malaysians, we as a country, we as Malaysia, we have been elected to the United Nations Human Rights Council for the term 2022 until 2024. And Melvin has mentioned, we are one of 18 representative in the world representing in the UN, and we actually got 183 votes to be part of that council. So Malaysia and human rights, we love, right? We love people, right? We are very fair, right? Hence why we come impartial, hence why we are elected on this particular seat, right? I sengaja untuk you. Silakan, Melvin.
No, okay, fine. You know how it is now in Malaysia. We want to challenge human rights, but certain parties, sectors are not ready for it. But we still have time. Just like as you mentioned, you highlighted, it's the term start from 2022, which
Mm.
is we are 2 over months away.
October, November. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh, but two and a
Yeah,
half lah. 2.5.
yeah, 2.5 months away. Officially 2.5 months away. Let's say we have still times to improve ourselves, to show the world why we are the why are we the 18 out of the 100 out of the whole world we are elected. You know,
Yeah.
so if we have any so-called area to improve, we still have still have time to improve, to be
Exactly. So
respected.
before we dwell into this topic even further, let me just share with our audiences what exactly does this mean. Malaysia is ready to take an active role to facilitate international reconciliation, cooperation, and consensus building after winning a seat in the UN Human Rights Council. Said the
Yeah.
Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri. Malaysia will work closely with the UN member states to advance the global human rights agenda as enriched in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And previously, if you do not know, that Malaysia was previously elected into the Human Rights Council between the year 2006, 2009, and 2010, 2013. And this also says Dato Saifuddin, the Foreign Minister, will continue to advocate strongly against human rights violation such as the systemic oppression of the Palestinians and the Rohingyas, beside working together with the international community to rebuild Afghanistan. So basically, what we want to do is that we want to show love to everyone else in the world, all the other humans in the world.
Well,
But
I
you
have to
have a
correct you,
concern about
Mio.
humans in Malaysia.
I have to correct you, Mio. A
Yeah.
lot much to say about love to people outside of the country.
Mm,
You know what you mentioned is all foreign countries.
exactly.
How about
Exactly.
ourselves, people in
Yeah.
Malaysia?
Mm.
That
So
is
what are
very
your
important too.
what are your views on this? Because I know it's a mixed feeling. As much as we are so honored to be elected to be one of the councils, Malaysia that is, but there are still some concerns that you want to bring up. I mean, the things that are happening on our own shores or in our own country, Melvin.
Yes. You see, when was this announced, the social media was a big hoo-ha.
Mm.
Of course, in general, they're laughing at it because they see that Malaysians don't actually practice human rights, or at least not to the full support of human rights. So one instance is the Orang Asli. You have always read articles. Orang Asli will be the land, uh, because we clear a lot of those forests, we encroach into their lands, and there's not many voices on behalf of Orang Asli rights. Because Orang Asli basically, they have less educated. We have to actually support them. We have to tell them what we need to be. The children, let's say, you need to get good educations to improve themselves and all this thing. But we have yet to be there. We have yet to reach that level. I believe we have to do a lot of NGOs are actually helping out to reach them. So we hope the government too, because I mean, of reasons. You see, people clear lands and all these things without considering this Orang Asli.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand where you're coming from. Obviously, when you look at certain points that needs to be considered, because again, when you talk about human rights, it's what's the base of the words. Human rights. The human word is definitely there. It's something that you really need to be really understanding in regards of whoever it is that you're advocating. You're not advocating for animals, you're not advocating for plants, you're advocating for humans. And it is great the fact that we are being elected. We are elected, and we can strive in moving forward, making sure that people of Rohingya, people of Palestine, even in the situation in Afghanistan being rebuilt and such, is great for us to have that sort of influence in these kind of situations out there. Because I mean, like it or not, we are, at the end of the day, we are basically, we are peaceful. We are very peaceful. We are a peaceful country. We don't have any wars in our country. A lot of other countries are even worse than us. Hence why I think more spotlight is being driven to those people rather than the people of our own. But having said that, Melvin, it is also true that before you can even look out and try to help other people, why can't you help our own people, our own nation, our own countrymen, our own countrywomen who are Malaysians at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. So that, I mean, one of them is I brought up with orang asli. Second is the other could be sensitive to some sector of people.
Yep.
It's LGBTQ group,
For
right?
people who don't understand, Melvin, spell it out. What is LGBTQ plus XYZ? What are these? What is this group? Who are they?
Okay, it's lesbians,
Hmm.
gay, transgender,
Okay. All right.
LGBT, right?
All right.
The 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 latest news is this morning. We
Hmm.
have this person, this well-known personality was away from the country,
Hmm.
end up so-called in Thailand. The
Hmm.
Malaysians try to extract that government trying to extract him
Mhm.
back. But then now he's so happy. I just saw the video in Star News Star. He's now in Australia.
So you're still referencing him as a
No,
he.
I think I don't know.
You get confused yourself, right?
Yes, but it's still a person. What I'm
It's
saying,
still a person, of course. I mean,
yeah,
like, jokes aside, this is still a human being.
it's
Yes,
still
correct.
humans. He should have equal rights as well.
Correct.
If we as a country, as a government, are now part of the 18th so-called endorsing human rights,
Yeah.
right? So
And to extend, yeah. Sorry, go on.
the person is no judge. I mean, it's nothing to hide or whatever because it's published all over the media.
All right. Yeah.
He said that now she's an Australian. She is now she's very well. She seems to be very happy there. She's under self quarantine now. The Australian government is supporting her, and I like to say why Australia can do it.
Yeah.
We have also come across. I mean, like it or not, this is real. You have LGBT groups, and I see a lot of them also working in department store, especially in those in this cosmetic line, all
Yep.
those things, brands. They're very good. They're very dedicated to the job, their work. I would love that they are given equal chances, equal opportunities, and not to be discreet. I mean, otherwise, are we qualified to be in the Human Rights Council?
Yeah, that's the thing. I
No?
mean, like, to carry on to your point, yeah, with all the issues that has been happening, I mean, yeah, Sajat is definitely one of the things that you can definitely talk about when it comes to human right, basic human rights. What a person deserve and what they do not deserve in regards of able to live anywhere that they want. We also can look into the fact that we are one of the few countries out there who are still carrying capital punishment, death sentences in our laws, specifically whenever you commit a crime, specifically when you are involved, when you're involved in drugs, whether you're trafficking, pengedaran dadah, basically. If
Yeah.
all of the proof is shown against you and you are definitely convicted, and there's no what you call it, tak ada any other doubts, no doubts at all, and more often than not, you will be hung to death because that is what the law states, that kalau you commit all these crimes and disabitkan kesalahan, you akan dihukum gantung sampai mati. And with that
Yeah.
has also been created, that has also created a lot of ruckus out there, especially to the international eyes out there, Australia specifically, because they have always seen Malaysian law as in being cruel, doing all this kind of things, because we should not just terminate a human life because of the crimes that they commit, because at the end of the day they're still human as well. What do you think about this, Melvin?
Actually, I don't know whether, first of all, is Malaysia ready to accept? I mean, even though it's by vote and it's honor that other countries actually pick Malaysia to be part of the 18, but honestly, the government should ask themselves, are they ready? Because if you are part of the 18, you have to be to live by it, to the what UN's so-called visions.
Guidelines lah.
I know we can't be conflicting. I mean, you are the 18, you can't say no, we can't do this and can't do that. To fight the ball. So the question is, are we ready as a government? Are we ready to be part of the 18 to empower or to advocate human rights? That is my questions.
Yeah.
To hang to death and all those things, I think there's other way. I mean, even in other countries, it's not by hanging. There could be other ways of terminating their life. or their life in prison,
Yep.
right? So we have to very thoroughly study, having been honored, or are we in the next few years, 2022 to that 2024, are we able to live with it? Otherwise, we'll be criticized. The country will be criticized
Yeah,
internationally.
yeah. I totally understand you because, like, there's one thing about being elected and holding that flag in regards of human rights to bailer, or should I say,
Yeah.
to fight for other people's suffering. Again, like I said, the Rohingyas, the Afghanis, the Palestinians. What is happening in the Middle East. Between Israel and
Mm.
Palestine. Obviously, everyone knows about the issue, and Malaysia has been a strong advocate about how cruel Israelis, the Zionists, have become. Over there, killing and
Mm.
making propaganda news and everything. But yeah, all said and done, at the end of the day, as much as we want to help others, that's what we're trying to bring it down over here. This discussion specifically on today's topic is that are we even ready to go out and fight for other people, even though that we have internal conflicts ourselves in
Yes.
our nation. So that is the concern. And truth be told, Marvin, I don't think that we are totally ready because why? There's always that little friction in regards of human rights as well as religious views comes to play because as people all know, you'd have to even look far. You look at how Saudi Arabia is handling their Sharia law over there because granted we are following the Islamic views on it, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of Western views saying that it is cruel, it is da 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 and whatnot. A lot of people are confused about this thing, Melvin.
That's why I say with the 18th, I mean, it's honored to be there, but we were not ready yet. I think we should politely say thank you, but we consider to be the
Mm.
member because you have to live by the standard. So rather than being criticized over the period of time to where we are on holding so-called office, you know, even you know the UN Human Rights Councils actually
Mm.
it says human rights protection must start from home. You know,
Okay, all right.
start from home means not your rumah, my rumah. Domestically, it has to start domestically.
Yes, yes.
Uh, one of the things that, of course, I don't know whether I'm anti-humans, right? If I say yes, the anti-vaxxers, those
I was
anti-vaxxers
about
should
to
be.
ask you, what about the human rights of the anti-vaxxers,
Yeah,
Melvin?
I say yeah, they should not be. They should be vaccinated because they are actually a threat to our own to their communities.
Right, yeah.
So, but then they say that we are we measures is a part of the Human Rights Council.
Yeah,
So you should protect my interests. So
yeah.
you see the last few days, YBKJ was a bit tough. I think for the anti-vaxxer. Of course, the membangkang the opposition. Oh, you should know. You should be give them education, educate them, and all these things. But I think that is waste of time. For the last 2 years, almost 2 years,
Yeah.
we know how bad is the virus is, and you still want to give them time to reconsider. And yesterday, an article came out. There was a research. Those anti-vaxxer will change their mind once their loved ones has been tested positive.
Yeah.
It
Usually, yeah,
means
that's
that
not the case.
now they feel the pain if their loved ones actually they're anti-vaxxer. But if the loved one actually contacted the virus, and that they know that they go through a trauma and all these things, they change their mind. Yes, I want the vaccine.
So
You know?
yeah, so what you're trying to say that the actual belief of being an anti-vaxxer, the opinions of being an anti-vaxxer
Yeah.
changes due to the condition that is around that. But I guess putting it that way, Melvin,
Yeah.
better late than never. Better
Yeah.
change rather than still sticking to your guns and not really understanding the repercussions and the total effects of one who is contracted with COVID-19. So I guess that's actually a good thing, even though they have to go through a bad thing first. If you understand. So
So I
it's
think what I hope, yes, is an honor that we are in the councils. I mean,
mm,
of the whole world, or we are the
mm,
part of the old 18, one of the 18. I hope that Malaysia will also taking steps to improve human rights domestically
yep.
first. Not just champion things that happens overseas, yes, and all these things. Look at your own backyard.
Correct. Yeah. One thing that you cannot deny about Malaysians is that kita sukakan pada recognition. We love recognition, Melvin. Whatever it is that we do, we want to get that salutation. We want to get that affirmation that we are the best, we are part of this great thing, we are well known, da 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 da. We are always known about that. But one thing that you cannot deny, Melvin, that the whole world knows about us, one thing is because of our greatness in regards of tourist attraction. That's right, Cuti Cuti in Malaysia. Malaysia is very much well known. And fun fact, Melvin, I want to share with you a
Yeah.
story of mine way back then. I think maybe at least about 10 years before this. I was in a flight with a foreigner. And how I introduced myself, I said that, okay, my name is Mio, and then I'm from Malaysia. And that guy automatically, I think he was an American. He went straight away, Cuti Cuti Malaysia. He sang me that song. You have
I
to
think,
say that, you know, yeah,
yeah,
the
that
Department of
campaign,
Tourism really did a good job in selling
yeah,
that song. And Cuti Cuti Malaysia definitely is so great, and a lot of outsiders know about us. But the question that we want to ask today is, for this particular topic, is that are we Malaysians even know about the greatness of what Malaysia has to offer to ourselves, Melvin?
I will ask you, when was that when you met these foreigners and he
10
knows
years
that,
ago. Easily
huh?
10 years ago.
I see 10 years ago, this Treaty Treaty Malaysia campaign was a real success.
Hmm.
All right, it was a real success. I love the campaign, that it was well executed, starting Malaysia as a destination of a lot of different cultures under one roof.
Hmm.
We even have that gesture of greeting people with a hand that's close to your heart and bow,
Yep.
right? That was actually brought up that time, right? That's the Malaysian style of saying hello to you, and like shaking
Correct.
hand. Now we have to, our hands to our right hands to our chest, heart, and bow. So that was very successful. But along the way, I think something went wrong. The
What
focus
went
was
wrong,
not
Melvin?
there.
What
Uh,
went wrong?
what went wrong?
Ah,
Um, uh, the change of directions, I believe.
okay. All right.
All
Yeah.
right, I was actually amazed during that time 10 over years ago when they launched Chuti Malaysia, and I always like that's why that team Chuti Malaysia always is still in our mind,
Yeah.
you know, uh, and then they know who to target to, what Malaysia can bring expectation. We can't tell the world that we are like New Yorkers, we are like Hong Kong, Singapore. It's a different kind. We can't sell that. We have to sell Malaysia is a place, it's close, it's like you can relax, you can see a lot of different kind of cultures, you can have different
Yeah.
kind of food, the kind of lovely, warm
Mm.
feelings.
Yeah.
But we can't sell that. Oh, we are the as good as Hong Kong, like a shopping paradise, whatever. We
Mm.
are still left behind. I mean, honestly, you know.
I mean, Malaysia is definitely known for a lot of other things because, again, apart from being a shopping haven, a food
Mm.
haven as well. But as what we actually spoken of earlier, we are definitely well known for our ecotourism. And to talk about the whole tourism, what you call it, tourism losses. Actually, Malaysia has actually estimated losses in tourist expenditure up to about 165 billion ringgit this year, and about 135 billion ringgit back in 2020 due to the implementation of the MCO. So now is the time that we Malaysians locally, because again, kita tak boleh nak keluar, orang tak boleh nak masuk, semua whatnot. This is the time that we need to gear up. We need to make the economy, at least the domestic tourism economy, rancak kembali. We need to make sure that we go to the islands, we go and buy that souvenir, we go visit that special place and make our tourist attraction great again, Melvin?
I think the governments should realize or do more in-depth studies. Those people, what do they expect when they travel for holidays? Besides going to cities to buy so-called brands and all things, those who want, I think Malaysia should be positioned at a place that you can go to more relaxed, actually true vacation rather. So because some vacation holidays, you come back, you feel more tired.
Yeah, usually you need
Yeah.
a vacation after you came back from vacation.
Yeah. So Malaysia, I think, was a place that you can actually recharge yourself. You
Yeah.
feel relaxed to come back. After they come back to your work, you feel so. You feel like you long to go back again. You
Yeah.
miss the sun, you miss the sea, you miss the air, and all those things. So that should be I think, the starting point. And also ask those people who travels. Beside all this, what do they need? What else is missing? The supplementary features.
Yeah, I mean, personally, to me, I mean, like, why? I mean, again, I'm a bit of a both kind of guy. I love, going to our beaches. I love going to Perhentian. I love going to Redang. I love even going to Malacca, even
Mm.
going to PD. But I do enjoy also going outside of Malaysia because, it gives you that foreign experience, learning about other people's culture, only what you see on TV, then you're able to actually experience it. Like, for instance, going to Seoul, going to the road of Myeongdong, looking at the Koreans on how it is actually versus always what you see on TV. And then, hence why I think a lot of people, especially the ones who can afford, would love to go out more rather than spending their money here in Malaysia. But we have to change that kind of mindset even more because Malaysia has so much more to offer, Melvin.
You see, going overseas, I think it's everyone's dreams. It's a learning. You learn different cultures, and you do things that is not allowed in your country.
Mhm.
Like, that's a fact.
Yes, correct. Moving on. Yes.
All right. So, but then, and most people, they tend to have at least 2 holidays plans in a year. I mean,
Yeah.
on a normal circumstances, working, yes. Do consider one of your holiday spent locally. Not because
Yes.
I said I'm going on local travel to Malaysia because I need to visit my parents. That's not, Because I'll
Yeah.
go back to hometown. They treat as cuti Malaysia. I know.
Well, if you put it in a way that it can be, I mean, contohnya like if your parents actually live in contohnya Kuala Terengganu, why not just take a hop, on the boat to Perhentian or Redang or I can't
But in
even
most of
remember.
the cases, they don't. They just go back to the hometown,
That's
spend two,
true.
3 days out of obligations. You know,
Macam kewajiban kan. It's like an
that's how we, yeah,
obligation
just
to
go
come.
there. But I would wait. I mean, I'm from West Malaysia. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, born and bred here. I love take a time, probably go to Sabah, Sarawak, or go to East
Yeah.
Coast.
Yeah.
You
A
know,
lot
I
of
love
things are
Sabah and
happening.
Sarawak. Honestly,
Mm,
for me, it's a different cultures of from the West Malaysians.
sure. Yeah.
So if you have plans already and things goes, I mean, back to normal, at least take once in a year, try to support local tourism.
Yeah.
Our local tourism, for me, is always from my what I observe. Go to
Mm.
Genting Highlands. Go Genting.
No, no,
It's local tourism
you are
for me.
generating the nation's income, Melvin. It's okay. Good on you. You're generating the
No,
nation's
it's
income by
that.
going
No,
to
I
Genting.
like, so why like to have the cool. Why not go to Fraser's Hill? Why not you go to
Cameron
Cameron Highland?
Highland. Correct.
You
Yeah.
know,
There are some other
why
places which
why
I
folks are always
actually
Genting Highlands.
we are becoming a bit of a stereotype lah, when it comes to this. But again, on an end about this topic, again, as much as we always like to go abroad, it is true. There's so much that Malaysia has to offer. As what Melvin has mentioned, look at East Malaysia, look at Sabah and Sarawak. Look at Sabah, for instance. They have so many beautiful islands out there, a lot of forest reserve out there, a lot of animal sanctuaries out there as well. Even the Mount Kinabalu,
Yeah,
if you have not had the chance to actually go to it, even look at it with your own eyes, it gives you so many different feelings rather than just
yes.
looking it on the
I,
screen
I,
and just on the postcard.
this is a bit propaganda. I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Try to next 2 years, spend most of your money to travel in Malaysia because we need to stimulate local economy first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually like a cycle. Things get better locally. It actually will get better
Yeah. Correct.
first. Then after that, okay, plans for your probably your international overseas trip
Mm,
holidays.
yeah.
But at the moment, I think we need desperately to get back the people who work in the leisure industry, in the lifestyle industry, retail industry. They need works.
Yeah, correct.
You
Yeah,
know,
they need attention as well. They need the
yeah.
support from us. Who else can they depend on? Because again, we can't get people from the UK, from China to come down. They need to depend on us, and it is our responsibility as human beings, hence human rights, jeng jeng jeng, untuk tolong bantu kita sendiri. Melvin, thank you so much for another interesting topic today. I'm gonna be manning the mics tomorrow because you have a very interesting updates. But don't share it yet. Don't share it yet. Share it after the fact. But definitely we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, Melvin?
Yes, I will see you on Thursday.
Thursday, hopefully.
Mio,
Alright.
for once, it will be a Lone Ranger.
Well, I won't be that sad. Don't worry. Thanks, Melvin. See ya.
See you, ciao.
Bye.
Happy.
Okay, thanks a lot, Melvin. Yes, as mentioned, yeah, we are. Thank you again, first of all, for staying on and watching us on this show today. A lot of interesting topics that we actually brought to you. Don't forget, we are always here 5 times a day, from 12 o'clock in the afternoon on our social media handles. Make sure you guys follow us as well, and hope you guys have a great chilling day today. Hari yang tenang, hari yang sehat. Sekali lagi diucapkan kepada semua muslimin dan muslimat. Salam Maulidur Rasul kepada semua. Mio Adanya signing out. Hope to see you guys again on the next one. Take care. Bye.